What is guys, it's your girl Madison Whitmore. You know, I feel like I say that differently each time. I'm still trying to get it. Like,
what do you want to be, Madison? Do you want to be Madison Faith? Do you want to be Madison Faith Whitmore, your own name? Or do you want to be Madison Whitmore? Like, let's get it together.
Today I wanted to, you know, be a little transparent with you guys and talk about a really hard time that I had. I know many of you may know about the story, but also many of you may not. So I'm gonna get right into this video. If you haven't seen from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking about the Flint Water Crisis and my experience being in the Flint Water Crisis as well. A lot of you guys who may not know where Flint is, it is in Michigan, somewhere like around here in this area. So like we go like this. I'll insert a picture or something of what Michigan looks like and where Flint's located. Y'all don't know the story. Story kind of goes like this. The crisis is still going on in a couple of places, but it's not as widespread as it used to be. With the Flint Water Crisis, we had been noticing that like our water was looking weird, tasting funny, and it was just not, it wasn't it. Obviously, the people who are drinking the water were complaining and were like, yo, this ain't it. This ain't it, government. What's going on with our water? The government, it's fine. You'll be fine, drink it, it's okay, it's all good. You know, we believed them. We believed our government systems and they were doing what was right for the people. About 2 years in, I was 17 years old, I would say, in my opinion, in the events leading up to, and I noticed that there was a lot of things kind of going on that I was like, I had developed what was called areola alopecia, and usually it runs in the family type of thing, or it can be like something that just makes you very stressed and it causes your hair to fall out. If y'all don't know what it is, it causes your hair to fall out in big areas. That's why I call it area alopecia, because it falls out in clumps in huge areas. So it falls out a lot quicker, bigger, and more noticeable. My beautician at the time actually had spotted it, and good thing she did, because if I hadn't, like, if she hadn't seen that, I would have just thought like, oh, it's just like a thin area of my hair or whatever. I was talking to my parents, and you know, my mom, she's so concerned, and she's just like, my baby, my daughter, what's going on? You know, I take good care of your hair. And she really did. And are you stressed? You know, is there something going on? And to me, I felt normal. Nothing but there's like regular stress of school and life and church and being a preacher's kid. Like, just kind of those things was the norm. I don't really feel that stressed. I mean, like, you know, I feel like a little out of it lately, but nothing to the extent, like I've been more stressed than this situation. My mom, she ends up taking me to the dermatologist, because my mom, when she sees something, she's like, let's go, we gotta get this fixed, we gotta get this figured out. So we went with the dermatologist, and he's like, you know, analyzing my head, and basically not good news. Basically telling me, yeah, this is going to get worse, probably. Your hair is going to start falling out in a lot of different places rapidly. We can nurse it back to health or whatever, but you know, there's also a possibility that it could come back. I'm just like, what? And I was like really scared, because like in high school, especially being a black woman, like your hair is like your prized possession. Like, it's like, man, if my hair is good, I can make anything look good. I can make everything come together, right? And at the time I was getting perms, and you know, I wasn't even thinking about that natural life. Like, I loved my permed hair, I was fine. And mind you guys, at this time, I did not know that the reason my hair was falling out was the water situation. I'm just thinking like, what could this be? Is it the perms? So, you know, first step I did, I stopped getting perms. I stopped going to the salon. I just started like naturally letting my hair grow and, you know, not putting any perms or anything in it. That didn't help. And then I just started getting it straightened regularly. That didn't help either. So then we get to maybe like a couple months in. At this point, I'm wearing hats to school. Like, I didn't tell any of my best friends that this was happening to me till like after, because my hair was falling out in clumps. I couldn't even wear my hair out like you would notice. And we weren't even really allowed to wear hats at school, but like I was just wearing it and they wasn't gonna tell me to take it off. So I was just really embarrassed. And at that time, you know, in my life, it was really hard. But definitely just didn't feel beautiful, and I didn't feel like anything really. I felt kind of numb in that moment. As time went on, my dermatologist, he starts, you know, saying that we need to start treatment. And I'm like, okay, what does that consist of? He was like, yeah, we're gonna give you this serum and you're gonna rub it on all of your bald spots that you have. When you get more, just rub it, and see how this goes. And then, like, I think a couple months later, they announced on the news that there had been high cases of alopecia in our area. And they also said that there was like, a lot of things just started breaking out about the Flint Water Crisis. How a lot of people's cases of alopecia were linked to the water crisis and the water that we were drinking. I remember my dermatologist, and he was like, 2 reasons that this could happen. One was like it's hereditary, runs in the family, or a really stressful event has happened to you in which caused you to lose your hair. And I was like,
bingo.
And so I was telling my parents, and they were like, you're right, you're probably right. It's probably that. Out of all of my family, I drink the most water. Like, I drink so much water, sometimes I think I'm a fish and I'm just trying to swim. The fact that there were so many other cases coming out from this water link, I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. More research was done, and it was pretty much a fact that the water was doing things to people's bodies, and the water was giving people's rashes, the water was having people's hair fall out, and giving people lead poisoning. And, you know, although I got tested and I didn't have lead poisoning, the stuff and the everything else that was in the water was still affecting my body. That sucked. You know, maybe 9 months into my treatment of my hair, it was still growing, but very slowly. So what they had to do was they had to give me shots in my head, which was very scary because I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't like needles. Like, oh my god, pineapples. Yeah, if we want this to go faster, we're gonna have to do this and see if it's more effective. So I'm like, man, at this point, do what you gotta do. I just want my hair back. And although those shots were uncomfortable, my hair did start growing back, thankfully. And, you know, I started to realize I'm not telling y'all to not care about things when you don't have them. What I'm saying is to be appreciative of what you have and the ability of your limbs, your toes, your nose, your mouth, your hair, everything, your mind, like all of those things, to be appreciative of it, because sometimes it can go. A year and a half, my hair grew back, and so I'll get into a whole nother video about that journey for me. The thing that I am thankful for is that it definitely helped me realize where I put my confidence in and where my value lies now anyways. If y'all are wondering now in 2019 what's kind of going on, It's still an issue. It's still an issue in Flint. They're working on the pipes. If y'all don't know, what happened was the water was in the old pipes in the infrastructure of the ground, which eroded the rust and all of the crud and all of that from the old pipes, which, you know, poisoned the water that was flowing through them into homes. And that's kind of how people got poisoned and, you know, got messed up from it. A lot of children in Flint, in the more impoverished areas and in the non-impoverished areas, will have lead poisoning in their bodies. Lead stays. So, you know, I believe lead will leave with the help and the healing and the work of God. But for the most part, a lot of these children are poisoned, and what lead does, it affects the development of their minds, and it affects their learning processes, especially when they're younger and they're being developed into human beings on this earth. I know a lot of people ask how they can help, and I know a lot of people come to Flint and think that just having their presence there is helpful. And I understand when people come and they're trying to raise awareness, or people come to show their support. But in our city, you know, there's just a lot going on. Flint used to be this great city. You don't want people to take it lightly, because children were affected, people were affected, but most importantly, the children that are coming up in that city, who have already looked at their surroundings and are becoming products of their environments. And not only that, now their ways of thinking and their learning development is messed up. Government officials found it okay to tell us to drink this water when they knew something was wrong. Definitely reach out to me. I've been trying to do a lot of things on my own and still have plans to do so, but one of my initiatives is definitely for the kids, because they're the future. And I feel like the school systems definitely need to take heed in this situation, because at this point, lead is irreversible. We can't, your prayers are the only thing that will be able to make it reversible. But as far as changing our education systems for those kids, as far as getting them healthy foods to eat so that their bodies and immune systems can work more efficiently while the lead is in their bodies, just those kinds of things that, you know, we have to deal with. Don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe to this video. And if no one told you that they loved you today, I do, especially to my people back home. I love y'all, and I will continue to fight for y'all.